Hi everyone, this is Ant, and I'm with,
Ryan, hello.
and and we are
Very,
here. We wanted to do something a bit different.
very excited by this one.
I know. Yeah, because we're here to review and talk about Joker 2, Folie à Deux,
Well done.
the Todd Phillips movie released in 2024 and follow up to his movie Joker, released in 2019. All right. I think there is quite a bit to unpack on this one. But maybe before we start diving into the sequel, let's talk about the first one. What did you think of the first movie?
I really enjoyed it. I
Mm,
think I gave it about a 4 or 4.5. It was, yeah, just uh, very good performances. I remember just thinking, wow, Phoenix did just, he was very good in the role. I like the use of, I think, the colors and whatnot. It's been a few years since I've watched it, but I do remember really enjoying it and going, yeah, okay, I understand why he won the Academy Award for it.
yeah, yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I thought it was dark, it was a bit tragic, well acted, good depiction of mental illness, extreme mental illness, as well. No, very, very enjoyable movie. So let's talk about the sequel now. I think the
Well,
first thing I want to talk about is it's a musical.
yep.
The first movie was not a musical, nowhere near it. What do you think of that choice?
Or one of the things that I really found that it really ruined the narrative. There's moments in
Mm,
it where uh, he's in court and then all of a sudden he's imagining he's having a dancing number with Lady Gaga. And it takes away from what is trying to go through with that courtroom drama. It's you you're taking it away from the courtroom to be, oh, he's having a dance number with Lady Gaga, and then it's back into the courtroom, and it's just like, well, it didn't feel organic. Like
mm,
there was nothing. Like I've watched movies where it's a musical. Like let's take Sweeney Todd for example, the Johnny Depp one.
yeah.
It was a musical, but it was organic. The singing was part of the narrative structure of the film. None of the songs I found were part of the narrative structure here. It was just singing to include a singing scene, and
It,
it didn't make
yeah.
sense.
It doesn't talk about the feelings that they are going through or anything like that. It's just a song. And it's a jukebox musical as well. The songs were not specifically written for the movie. They are just famous songs that they are
Yep,
singing as well. So
that too.
but I don't know. I personally I thought it was an odd choice. But then once you go with it, I was like, okay, well, it's trying something, and I think what they were trying to do is because Harley Quinn and Joker are the only two that are singing and doing the musical numbers. I think it symbolizes their shared delusion. That's why it's a folie à deux. And I think that's what they were going with. I don't hate that choice. I don't think it's groundbreaking either. I Some of the musical numbers, I didn't mind them. I think they were quite nice. They never went as crazy as you could expect with a musical. I was still expecting that big musical number towards the end where that would symbolize like the height of their madness or something like that. It never really happened. Some of them are just sung as if it was someone singing in real life. And really love Lady Gaga. I think she's a very good performer. I really like her voice. I have to say that Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor, but he's got a very poor singing voice.
Yeah, it was one of the things that I said. It just Gaga, good singer. Phoenix really struggled with singing. He, as much, yeah, he's a good actor, but he did not do a very good singing voice at all.
Good one.
Right. Yeah. All right, we'll go into some different parts of the movie as well. That animated opening, what was odd, or what did you? I'm not too sure
I
how I felt about that.
I liked it. To be
Yeah.
honest, I almost went into it, and we'll go into like the voting after. I think I'm gonna be a less harsher critics than a lot of people out there because it was different. It took risk, and I actually really liked the opening. I thought it was good. It was a bit crazy. It was different, and I was like, okay, well, is it actually gonna be something good, and is it really gonna hook me? But then yeah, it went a bit more into snooze fest that I can talk about. But I like the opening. What do you think?
Um, I, I I don't know how I felt about it. I liked it, but I was I found it strange. But then you look at the entire scope of the movie, and it probably does. It probably needed to be there, and it does. It
Mm,
feels like it's complemented. It complements the movie, I suppose.
yeah,
All right, there's something that I'd like to discuss is the directed by Todd Phillips. Two things that I want to talk to you about is the color palette.
yeah,
Obviously, there's the green and blues, which I found that it kind of represented that he's trapped. When he's trapped, he's in prison. He's encaged. Then when he sees colors, there's obviously that scene with the umbrellas where he's walking along and he looks up and all the umbrellas are in different colors. And then the first time he sees Harley, she's in a yellow room. That's his freedom. Colors are his freedom.
yeah.
That's how what I kind of got from that.
Yeah, and even in the musical numbers, and when he's wearing the makeup of Joker, everything is against those very dark gray, green hues. Is uh, it pops a bit more, and there are warmer colors. So I understand, like what the director did with the color, and I have to say, beside all the faults of the movie, it is a good-looking movie.
Stylistically, yeah, just lovely. Yeah, that's one of the things I read as well. I'm going to tell you one thing that I absolutely loved. I'm just a sucker for this is a long take. I love a long
Mm-hmm.
take.
Yeah.
And that long take after the explosion was sensational. That was just, I think that saved the film for me. That was so well choreographed.
Yeah,
It just, they did a really good job on that.
yeah. The direction is great. It's yeah, might be a bit misguided at some point, but you can't fault that.
Yeah.
There is a lot of work and heart that went into making this movie.
Yeah. Uh, some of the supporting cast, I liked
Mm-hmm.
Brendan. We've got Brendan Gleeson, Catherine Keener. They're
Yeah,
two really good, strong supporting characters. I like them both a lot, and they both brought different kind of relationships to Arthur as well.
I like them, but like I think all the acting is actually pretty good in this movie. I mean, Phoenix is good, but that's a no-brainer. I
Yeah,
really like Gaga. I think she's a bit underutilized. I think they could have done more, and I can talk a bit more about it as well, like more of the entire storyline and the characters and how it was different from what I was expecting. But the acting was great, and supporting cast was great. But on that, when you're telling me this is a movie about Joker and Harley Quinn, what I'm expecting is it's gonna go a bit crazy and euphoric, and we're gonna see a lot of their shenanigans. But it's not that. It's a legal drama. It's a bit boring. I have to say. I think this is for me the movie's biggest fault is that it was a bit boring, and
it
that
was.
was
Yeah.
disappointing.
Yep. No, I agree with that. Yeah.
All
Um,
right, let's go a bit
let
to spoiler.
we're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Let's talk about this ending.
All right. So, because I've read up on it and I've read that everybody who made it says it's a Joker movie, not the Joker movie. So that's
Doesn't make
why.
sense to me.
So he's a Joker. He's not the Joker. So that's
It's
why
such a cop out.
I'm not going to disagree with you. Um, but I think it. In all honesty, the movie didn't need to be made, so they didn't need to make
hmm
Joker 2. I
Yeah,
suppose by are we going to say it? Are we going to say what happens at the end?
of course we are. You can turn off the podcast right now if you don't want us to
All
spoil
right,
it, but
just
yeah, let's go
but
into it.
so Arthur dies at the end, and he gets killed by one of the other inmates of Arkham Asylum, and they're saying that the person who killed him is the Joker. That's going to be the Joker because
Right.
Arthur was never the Joker. He was just someone who called himself Joker. Why they needed to
It,
do that, why that was a creative choice, I guess it's what Todd Phillips wanted to do.
yeah, I think
Do
it's a
I?
bit misguided.
Yep.
Oh, right. Okay. Maybe. This, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I was just very disappointed. This guy, I'm not sure that we're really seeing him before, like, in the movie, or if we do, it's really not clear what's his beef with
He's
Arthur.
no, he's there's no beef. I did a quick rewatch of it today just to scroll through. He's in one or two scenes where he's
Hmm.
kind of just sitting there and he's kind of like almost glaring, but not glaring, like with a kind of manic kind of smile on his face. But there's
Yeah.
no, if there was scenes prior to this where he was brought up, like his character was kind of introduced and there was antagonism for some reason, that would have made more sense, but it
Yeah,
didn't.
that's the problem. Whether Arthur is not the final Joker or okay, but it was not well set up. And I think this is the problem. It's not a good twist ending. It's just doesn't make sense. You're like, what? Who is this guy? What does he do that? And where does it lead to now? It was very, very disappointing.
It was just, yeah, just tacked on just for shock value, I think, more than anything, where you're
Yeah.
going to walk out of the film going, oh my God, he got killed. And
Mm,
then it was a poor ending to a weak movie.
yeah.
Let's just say that. Well, I've pretty much exhausted all of the things that I needed to talk about.
Yep.
Actually, one more thing I wanted to talk about. I found some of the editing a little bit poor as well.
hmm
There's one moment early in the film where all the inmates are there sitting there watching TV, and it just cuts to the guards looking at Arthur, just laughing in the rain. What was up with
hmm
that? What was there? That didn't make any sense.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. I think I had to sometimes rewind a bit, like, wait, like, did I skip a scene? What is happening? Yeah, yeah, I see where you come from.
It was just another. If we're going to nitpick, I'm just going to throw that one in there as well. So
hmm Fair enough. All right, should we go into voting?
I think we should. Um,
You want to start?
I gave it a two. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. It wasn't a fail. I don't think it failed, but it was a poor film. There were a few ups, the colors, that long take. I think it was a pretty film. It just the narrative was it was it was a poor narrative film, in my opinion.
Yeah, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. A bit less harsh than the critic. I think it's around like 31% on Rotten Tomato. Um, it's a movie that takes risks, and I like that. I just think that the risks that it takes don't pay off, that the choices that it makes are misguided. But I can't deny that there is a lot of heart and soul that went into this movie, and I really applaud that. And I'm glad I saw it, but it's not in the terrible category for me, but it's not in the good category either. So 2.5 out of 5.
Very good.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. Please comment, like, share, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, everyone.